it's Monica, and today I am going to be doing my November TBR. It's actually been a while since I did my last TBR video. I kind of stopped doing them for a while, mostly because I didn't have access to most of my books, like physically, so pretty much my entire TBR was always ebooks, just like random ebooks that I would get as they came out from like the library, or if I were sent ebooks by publishers. So I didn't really have TBRs to upload. So I'm really excited to be back doing TBR videos on this channel. I know I'm getting this out a little bit early, but I wanted to get it out a little bit before the beginning of November because I also wanted to announce a sort of low-key read-along that I'm doing this upcoming month. So some of you may know that Libba Bray is one of my absolute favorite authors of all time. I love all of her books that I have read, and I have just been really wanting to reread a bunch of the ones that I love the most from her. And there's also one book by her, Going Bovine, that I never ended up reading that I really want to try and get to. So I'm kind of doing an impromptu personal Libba Bray read-along. I am calling it Brayvember. It has a hashtag. And I just sort of wanted to invite anyone who is interested to join along, pick out a Libba Bray book that you've been wanting to read or wanting to reread, and join me in this read-along if you are so interested. If not, that's fine. I am content to just read and tweet about Libba Bray all month on my own. That's fine. I am planning on rereading one or two books and then also reading Going Bovine for the first time. So the two books that I'm planning on rereading, the first one is A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. This is one that I read back when it first came out. So that's over a decade ago. And to be honest, I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I recently was talking to Jean from over at Jean's Bookish Thoughts, and she recently read through a ton of Libba Bray's work and just raved about this book. It just made me really want to go back and read it because I know that, when I first read this, I really enjoyed it. So I just want to experience it again, and it'll be kind of like reading it for the first time because it's been so long. So really excited to pick this one up. The other book that I want to reread is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray, but I can't decide how I want to read it. The first time I read it as an audiobook, and it is an amazing audiobook. I think my favorite audiobook of all time, except maybe the Harry Potter series, but that's more so because of nostalgia than anything else. Libba Bray narrates that audiobook herself, and she is a genius when she narrates it. So part of me kind of wants to read it that way again because I enjoyed it so much, but then another part of me really wants to actually go out and buy the physical copy of the book because I never had a physical copy of it, and reread it that way so then I can highlight favorite lines and things because I know that there are so many really great one-liners and just moments in that book. So I haven't decided how I'm going to read that one just yet, but I plan on reading it next month for sure. I'll let you know at the end of the month in my wrap-up how I decided to go about that one. And then lastly, as I said before, I want to read Going Bovine, and this is the only Libba Bray book that I haven't read yet, so I'm really excited for it. And this one I will be reading as an ebook, that's why I don't have a physical copy, but I'm just so excited to finally dive into this one because I've heard from everyone I know who has read this one, they've said that it is amazing, so I'm really excited for that. So yeah, if you decide to participate in Brayvember, be sure to use the hashtag to tweet your reactions to various books, and hopefully we can all discuss just how much of a genius Libba Bray is together. I would say just try and avoid spoilers if you are going to use the hashtag. And yeah, I don't know, I'm really excited. I'm just excited to read Libba Bray. Alright, so I have 4 more books that I'm really excited to get to this month. The first one is Night Film by Marisha Pessl, and this is a book that I know one of my best friends, Sarah from Sarah Without an H, it's one of her favorite books of all time. She did a completely badass lookbook inspired by this book, and honestly the main reason why I haven't read it yet is because I feel like I'm gonna like it so much and then want more good mystery in my life and just feel at a total loss for what to read next because I'm really bad at picking out mystery books. This book starts off with the death of the daughter of this reclusive film director, and her death is originally ruled a suicide, but then there are obviously mysterious things afoot. And I'm really intrigued by this one. It sounds super atmospheric and the perfect fall read, and I'm also really excited because it has lots of different mixed media throughout the book itself, which I think is really cool. So I'm excited to jump into that one. Next is one of the books that was in my most recent book haul, and that is I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. And this is a classic story. It is written in a diary format by this girl who's living with her family in this like very dilapidated castle. And it just sort of captures, from what I understand, everyday life with her family and their experiences. And this is the brand new edition that just came out from Wednesday Books, and I think it's just so beautiful, so I'm excited to read this book in this new edition just because it's so stunning. So yeah, this one again, it just sounds like very autumn and just super cozy. Like I feel like I will read this book with a cup of tea and a candle burning and it'll be wonderful. Next is a book that actually comes out in November, and it is one of my most anticipated reads of this year, and it is Artemis by Andy Weir. Andy Weir is the author of The Martian. This is supposed to be a heist novel that takes place on the moon, which at this point in humanity has become a tourist destination, and I just think that sounds amazing. I love a good heist book because they usually have really great groups of characters, and I love space. So put them together and you have me sold. And lastly is another book that I recently hauled, and that is The Hearts We Sold by Emily Lloyd-Jones. This one sounds like the perfect atmospheric, moody YA paranormal read. This one follows a main character, Dee, who makes a deal with the devil and sells her heart, and then ends up meeting another character who also sold his heart. And I'm intrigued to see like what that means in this book, because the only thing that comes to mind is Megara from Hercules, which is what I said in my book haul of this book, which is like one of the reasons what attracted me to this book is the fact that like I love Megara, and that whole plotline from Hercules I think is great. So I'm really intrigued to see how this compares to that. I don't think that it's supposed to be like a retelling of Megara's story, obviously, but I don't know, it sounds really fun. It also sort of gives me Daughter of Smoke and Bones vibes, and I loved the atmosphere of Daughter of Smoke and Bone, even though some of you may know I kind of DNF'd it because it wasn't my favorite book plot-wise, but yeah, I'm really intrigued to jump into this one. So yeah, that is my TBR for the month of November. I'd love to hear what you guys are planning on reading in November. If you plan on joining in on Bravember, let me know, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!